We first met at Teesside, where Peter was in the computer science department, and I was joined the design department. And I found him in a room hunched over a computer which had 16 colours on, and I was amazed by this. And that was when we started working together.
At that point, we decided that what was really needed in order to form a computer animator was to bring together the art and the science of it. And eventually in '87 we moved down to Bournemouth, where the wishes of the management was for us to establish Bournemouth as the leading centre in computer animation in the UK. We started working towards that, and in '89 we managed to get a group of people from industry and academia together to discuss the future of computer animation in the UK. And then the hard work started. We had to design courses and we had to set up research.
The other problem which needs mentioned now is what were these artists using in terms of the tools they had. And at that time there was no tools. And in the case of Bournemouth, we were using Peter's own software called Seagull, and we used that for about 10, 12 years?
12 years.
Yeah, 12 years. Even that was a difficult thing for artists to get into, because it was actually almost like a programming language called scripting.
It was also quite difficult to recruit students at the beginning, because we had to make sure that they were able to do both the creative side of the discipline and the technical. Before we started validating our courses, people thought that it would be impossible to recruit, but they were wrong. Through the relationship that Peter and I had as professionals coming from totally different disciplines, we managed to fuse those two disciplines into something new, which is effectively computer animation. And that's what made our students successful. And there were very few other places that could replicate that experiment. Even now, they don't do it.
In a digital age, schools and universities are failing the creative industries. There are a few shining examples of best practice.
The National Centre for Computer Animation at Bournemouth University was founded on the ethos that there should be a marriage of art and science in equal amounts.
As the courses progressed and the industry progressed, there was software packages being developed for the film industry. Maya, which started life as a car design tool, and Softimage.
And later on Houdini.
And later on Houdini for the effects courses.
Yep.
Our philosophy about the courses remained the same, that they still have this underlying understanding of computer graphics, of scripting, of programming, together with the art. And the other big advantage was, of course, that the students knew packages which the industry was using.
Bournemouth University offers the closest thing that I've seen to a professional working environment in terms of this hardware and the software setup. So the kind of systems, the computer systems that students are used to working with are the kind of systems that we use here in the big bad world of work.
We've always talked to industry from the very beginning. What, however, we didn't do is allow industry to dictate its terms. We are running university degrees which have to be intellectually challenging, if you want, but industry friendly.
Bournemouth encourages a very good balance between the creative and the technical side of visual effects and digital animation.
The games industry has obviously taken off, so we have courses reflecting that, and the effects side of animation again has taken off, and it requires a degree of specialism. We've always encouraged the students to enter their final work into CGRAPH and other conferences, and staff also to keep engaged, because the thing's changing that fast. I can't say anybody can teach without being involved in either research art or consultancy.
I believe research underpins almost all the scholarly activities happening in the NCCA. Our own area of interest in terms of research is 3D virtual humans for computer animation, for computer games, but also that we use that for other areas like medical visualization, like rehabilitation, and like psychological studies.
There's another group that works on effects, games and animation, which is led by me. And then there's creative research that was led by Peter. Maybe you can...
Yes, the visual research group. A number of staff, obviously on the art side, were involved in that.
Our graduates go to various companies both in the UK, the US, Australia, New Zealand. So 55 of them ended up working on Avatar. About half of our students end up working for the games industry. So they're working companies like Psygnosis, Sony, and Rare. If you look at companies in London, we can talk about Framestore and Double Negative. Double Negative recently got an Oscar for Inception.
We were lucky enough to win the Oscar for visual effects, and me and Peter Bebb and Paul Franklin, who were the other supervisors, got to go to the Oscars and got to go up and accept the awards. All of the Hollywood companies are taking the UK seriously as a visual effects industry and bringing their work here. So there is a strong demand for graduates with visual effects skills. I think the visual effects community has graduates from Bournemouth in every company. From my year alone, I think there was probably 15, 20 people immediately started working in Soho.
The dream of most of our students is to see themselves on the silver screen and to get a prize like Oscar or BAFTA. Recently we started developing the idea of a visual effects hub in Bournemouth. The main idea there is to attract companies from industry to set up outposts in Bournemouth. Hopefully we're going to create a new amalgamation, if you want, of research, teaching and professional practice.
The key thing to any successes that Bournemouth has had is the students. Right from day one, we've recruited students from a wide variety. It's not just artists, but from science, photography, fashion, whatever, numerous backgrounds. But the way they've taken to the technology and then produced some really outstanding creative works, that's all I look at. I just look at the work, I look at the pictures.